Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, the passing game will be a focus. The Colts are top 10 in forcing interceptions, and they'll be up against the Texans, who will be testing that coverage. With that, let's get you up to Indianapolis. Standing by, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts.
Tight end left. Three down. Ready. White 20, Sonic. Hey, watch the edge. Sonic. Wide.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side.
Easy. Ship.
Winston now to throw on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd down now after the pass completion.
Left. Watch left. My 50. 6 guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Telvin Smith is a college safety who's transitioned very well to outside linebacker in the NFL. He runs down most plays.
Flip it. Switch. Ready. Blue ready. Hey, check. Let's go. Flip it. Let's go. Game.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's got the completion to Strong. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
They go play action here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Ready.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Muscles him off. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When you got a big guy like that in your backfield who runs as a big man and breaks tackles, it is paramount for a defense to have extra defenders in his vicinity at all times. Because you got to figure he's going to break through the first guy. You're going to need tacklers 2, 3, 4 in order to get him down. Because if you don't, he can continue to run and run it really, really well.
Amaro's got it, left side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Ready. Blue ready. My 50. Check motion. My 50.
2nd down, Winston. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take over all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks,
Green,
sets the tone for the offense.
They'll go again to Jones. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
C.J. Mosley's your prototypical Alabama linebacker. They'll come downhill and smack you, but they understand the game so well.
Third down now following the run.
Double tight. Hey, boys, go.
Come on now. Green, 39. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Oh, he pulls over it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. Third down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it and they ran it really well and picked up the first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Detroit! Let's go! Detroit! Over! Come on now!
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down.
All right, here we go.
Sometimes you just have a great tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
You can't block me. Now let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
Here we go. Blue 90.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
Alert!
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Larry.
They'll come out in the pistol.
After you. Check your hot read.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A good pickup there at 22.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on the line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Ready.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Now Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it. Panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a first down carry by Jones. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
All right, here we go. Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stay. All right, now, look at 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Brandon Cooks high in the air to bring it in. And the Texans are in for 6. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Ready, blue ready. 57's Mike. Easy. Jam. Flip it. Check 13. My 50. Check.
From the gun, Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Ready. Blue ready. My 50.
On 3rd down, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bouncing in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
If you love pressure,
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Second down following the run.
Here we go. Over. Check. Lucky.
Watch him now, Barney.
Check.
Barney. All right, here we go.
Crunch.
Blue, landed. Blue, over.
SOS.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down.
Check.
All right, here we go.
The give is to Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the first mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Princeton from the gun on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
This is taken at the 15. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal. But they got 3 points out of it. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this.
Key to tight end. 4 down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
57's the
No. Get it up, Philly. Here we
They
go.
come out here
Now
in
let's
the
go.
eye.
Now look at 56.
Watch
Let's
him
go.
now, Barney.
Gun.
Looking to throw. Complete to Dorsett. A huge play there for Houston. 41 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Here's Here's Jones. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
4 down, 4 down.
Now let's go. 3, Detroit. Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
And on the outside, they're playing play action. Again, it's Jones. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And another timeout taken by the Colts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Got double tight. Double tight.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Lucky. All right, here we go. Check. Patriot. Blue 90.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Matt Jones with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the Colts coming out now. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? You give them a chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 47 yards.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Jameis now on first down. Gets it to Strong. And down inside the 15 he goes. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Ready. Blue 80. My 50. Flip it. Ready. Blue 80.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shalik Calhoun in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll set up the throw. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love those short throws coming up. Give you wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Here we go now.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Tight ends left. Tight ends left. 4 down, 4 down. Check, check.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time. He's going to rifle one. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And the Colts getting ready to go. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
My 50, my 50. Ready. Blue, white. Flip it, flip it. Check 4, check 4.
And the back goes into motion.
Motion.
Following the interception, Winston. He sets to... Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jalen Strong in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They come out here in the
Let's
aisle.
go.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay.
All right, here we
but in
go.
order to get the separation that you just talked about,
Now, look at 56.
change things
Look
up
at
a little
56.
bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sitting back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. He's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does. So the quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
A big gain there on 3rd and 2. 33 yards.
Well, I'd have to say in that situation, they're lined up for a running play. It's only 3rd and 2. Some element of the pass, but that was really well blocked.
Probably call those gravy plays, right? If you're the offensive coordinator.
No doubt about it. All you're trying to do is get the 2 yards necessary for a first down. Then you look up, you got a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, they did. They got a lot more than that, indeed. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot
All right,
anyway,
here we
but
go.
when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right.
Here we go now.
Winding down. Now back to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Now Jones. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
I got 8.
Now let's go. Back there in that Philly.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn up.
Leopard.
Check 24.
Leopard.
Check 24.
They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And it's up and good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away. Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Now, that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Jameis to throw it. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Get high, baby. Get high.
Third and long for Winston. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
This is taken at the 23. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in the touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
That takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Gun! Here we go! Green, 39! Over!
He'll drop to throw. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Six yards here to go for the offense on second down.
4 down, 4 down.
All right, here we go.
And the wide out in motion.
3-19!
57, Mike, 57.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go now. Green, 39!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And able to find Dorsett. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Check,
Hurry up, here we go. Green!
Handoff, running left is Jones. 11 yards on the pickup, and the Texans are going to have a first and goal.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
4 down, 4 down.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now. No. Check. Patriot.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth.
Tight left. Hey, 4 down.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
Third and goal down. Ball on the 5. Here's Jones. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Matt Jones with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
Flip it, 52.
On 3rd down, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Mike Daniels coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
He ain't going nowhere.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
My 50. Ready. Blue ready. Turn it up. Easy. Up. Let's go. Easy. Hey.
Halfback sent in motion.
Sonic. Undercrush.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. He finds Beckham complete. Give him 18 yards on that one. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to gather those sticks and try to keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll get 17 yards there. And the Colts are going to have a first.
Woo, defense, let's go. Tight end left.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz call and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Back.
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that load in the box. Big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
All right, here we go.
Nickel back at it defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be... And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this one is right down the middle. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Check the backer. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack. The offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Offense faces a 3rd and medium with 6 yards left.
Hey, we heavy on the edges.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. 4th down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And they will score. Pick 6 for the Texans TD. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And the Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end.
Ready.
Another pistol look here. Now handoff looking right. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And quickly, they get to the line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Tight right. Easy. Rush.
Carry for Bernard. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game. And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here.
On any passes in the middle.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages.
We got to stand up over there.
Offense looking to avoid a third and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side.
Ready? Blue ready. 3 down.
On 2nd down, Winston again. And his throw is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
10 yards to go on 3rd.
Let's go now. 57, watch 25, Sonic. Watch twist. Watch twist. Easy. Oh, come on, let's pop it up.
They'll throw again. Winston. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And they're indeed. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Easy.
Now Winston on 4th down. Had to go for it with some. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. And now out comes Houston. They have edges of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one.